Welcome to One Mind Syndicate. I am your host Gersh1, and today we're going to hear about the Great Orc Empire of Gorro. Now, I'm very sorry guys, I could not get a 40 facts video out today. Things got a little too busy, I guess. But I didn't want to leave you without having any 40k content, so what I decided to do was give you guys the great story of the planet of Gorro, and or Gorro, whatever you want to call it. I promised you guys this when I first started the 40 facts channel or videos, so let's get into the story of Gorro. When the Emperor of Mankind revealed himself to humanity following the long night of the Age of Strife in the middle of the 30th millennium, he shaped war-torn Terra into a single unified world for the first time in a long millennia. Once he conquered Terra, he looked to taking his great crusade to the stars. Having created the foundation of the Imperium of Man, he launched his massive armies out into the galaxy. During these early conquests, many Imperial expeditionary fleets encountered the Greenskin Menace, a violent Xeno species designated as the Orcs by the early Imperium. Within the Tellan Reach was an Orc empire centered on Olenor, and at its heart was a scrap world of Gorro. The Orc tech caste, the Mech Boys, dominated the Orcs of Gorro and had made the world their own. The dominant tech castes on Gorro seemed to be fascinated by a form of plasma technology never encountered before or since. Capable of generating destructive yields of terrifying potency, these plasma weapons had done much to blunt the Great Crusade's advance across the Tellan Reach. The Emperor decreed that Gorro must be destroyed. When a 1,000-strong fleet of warships dropped out of the warp above Gorro, it was the Emperor himself who gave the order to begin the assault. Horus, Primarch of the Luna Wolf Space Marine Legion, and the favored son stood at the Emperor's side and watched as tens of thousands of assault crafts spread out from the fleet. The Luna Wolves teleported into the scrap layer beneath the planet's surface, forced to hollow out Gorro from within due to the planet's high resistance to orbital bombardment. In the vanguard was the Emperor, and by his side was Horus and a guard of black-armored Justurian Terminators from the Luna Wolves' first company, as well as a golden-clad warrior of the Legionis Custodes. As the Space Marines attacked, the Orc resistance was overwhelming. The Orcs of Gorro were huge and augmented with scavenged bionics. Some stood taller than dreadnoughts, and their weaponry burned through Astartes' power armor very easily. At the height of battle, the fury of the Orcs split the Emperor from his guards. Alone, he slew hundreds of them until a blast from an Orc plasma weapon weakened his defenses and one of the Orc leaders seized him. The creature's strength was so great that it took hold of the Emperor and buckled his golden armor. As the creature's grasp closed to throttle the master of mankind, Horus stormed through the press of battle and cut the Orc's arm from his body with a single blow. Together, father and son led their forces deeper into the vast sphere of scrap until they reached the center of Gorro. The Emperor worked to collapse the self-sustaining plasmasphere that powered much of the world's scavenged Orc technology, and that contained a warp-fold envelope so that Gorro would implode into the warp. The Emperor proved successful, and without its power source, the scrap world collapsed in on itself. A hollow skin of rusted metal around an empty void was all that remained to mark the death of the great Orc Empire of Gorro. And that was the story of Gorro. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to check out more, I got this off of the wiki page, so please jump on over to the wiki page for Warhammer 40k. There's a ton of great lore, which is where we get most of our data from, so please check that out. Subscribe to the channel to get more awesome lore video. I promise tomorrow we will go back to our regularly scheduled Warhammer 40k content, so 40 facts. I still got to finish up the Chaos Gods. If you're watching this for the first time, please subscribe if you stayed this long and you enjoyed this video. We do Warhammer 40k content every single day. But thank you guys so much for listening. This was Gersh1 with One Mind Syndicate, signing out.